All right. Good morning, all. Thanks for inviting us. I'm Rampazzo, and together with Marcello Galiotto, we founded AMAA in 2012. We started from Venice, and now we have two offices. One is still in Venice, and the other one is outside in the countryside, let's say, as Venetian says, actually, near Vicenza in Arzignano. But that was actually a choice. So we started from the place where when we learned how to deal with architecture. So we both studied in UAV in Venice, and then we had a brief experience in competitions outside the Veneto region, and then we went back to Venice to start our practice. And then after a few years, we realized that the big knowledge that we had grown within the historical center and historical also values, we can actually use it to look to the sprawl, which is very important for our region at least, and also the north part of our Italian, north of Italy, basically, nation, sorry. After 10 years of practice, we had the chance to think about a book of what we had done up to last year, because from 2012 to 2022 actually was 10 years of our practice. And we thought that one book was actually a good occasion to think about themes we were working on within the process of the project. So it was a choice not to present just the project in the more traditional way with plans and pictures and what so on, but to use the 10 projects to describe what we think about architecture. Of course, it's still in progress because we are kind of a young practice, but we like to interrogate ourselves a lot. So this was a new starting point for new thoughts on architecture and on the way we believe we want to work on. So each chapter of the book presents up to 10 projects overall, and they are described by titles which are very important themes we are always interrogated in. And the main thing is actually that the knowledge that we had and the approach that we had working within the historical center and historical values here in Venice, we wanted to export outside Venice within the sprawl, which was always thought as non-valuable context, while we think that even within this sprawl that is really a characteristic within the Veneto region, we had to focus on this pattern in order to underline the values that the existence always has, as a memory, first of all. So it's kind of suggesting a new overlook on what we have. And this is basically what is also summarized in the project that is shown here, which is called Treasure and Treasure. And it's a gallery that is, it was inaugurated last year in Arzignano. And it's actually a nice project that we had the occasion that we are proud of, because it's kind of summarize also another concept, which is that architecture is not a profession that is closed in itself, but it's, again, a constant collaboration within other inputs and other professionals. And one thing is actually art, like relating to art in general. It's not just architecture, but it's also art. And this project it was always asking himself how to bring art to people, because we always had the idea that museums are kind of closed in themselves, and there's kind of a barrier between like regular and ordinary life and the museums themselves. And how to break this limit was actually the starting point of this project. And then it's always thinking about sort of layering on elements, which are concrete elements, but also theoretical elements like memory of the site, memory of the context, and then elements in architecture, which is the new gate, the space, and then entrance, and then the joint, and then each materials and each fragment that you put in the project, that they have to work together, and within this combination you actually renovate the idea of using this site and using, I mean, and also the approach that regular people have within this art gallery. So that was actually the starting idea in the project, that you have to have a new gate, because of course it's a private site within the town of Arzignano, but this gate is offering an experience, is offering a space that you have to see and go through. It's actually inviting you to go through it in order to discover another space again. So it's not just a gate, it's a space, it's a treasure that is inviting you to complete to start the visit, and also to circulate around the project itself. As I said, it's in the middle of Arzignano, really close to the main piazza, and the section is actually underlining that there's a sort of process from the outside into the space inside, and it's actually a layering of elements which starts from the entrance gate that we see. Then there's a garden that is taking you into the first space that is one layer of the existing building that was there already, and it belongs to the 12th century. And then again you have another layer, which is the old building still with industrial function, which is the last one that was actually the oldest part. So I'll just go through the building as a sort of a process. So you enter from a garden that, in a sort of a Japanese way of thinking, you reach the entrance, which is not exactly in the middle, so it gives you an experience. And then, as you can see in the plan, you reach the inside, the first part that is from the beginning of the 90s, dark, because you have to adapt your site in order to get to the oldest part, which is left as basically it was, with some addition that are actually very underlined, so you can recognize what we did. So it's always sort of adjusting elements on top of the other, so it's all very clear in this kind of additions and renovation of old parts. So I'm going quickly through the elements and the use of the materials that are actually used in a very honest way. So whatever you see, it's actually the way they function also. And also they are always related to traditions and the context in terms of lines, in terms of creating a dialogue between elements and stuff. And this is actually the upper part, which is a private space for the gallerist that has a completely different aspect. And then again, all the designing for the project, and then the entrance gate again.